Courtney and I race down the street towards the ice cream truck. Like always, she is winning. But if I reach out and stretch my fingertips, I can almost touch the long strands of blonde hair whipping out behind her as she runs. She is only an arm's length away until she sees Stephanie and Erin, two of the most popular girls in our grade, and the distance between us widens, just like that. And with a smile, she eases into their conversation and the front of the line. I take my place in the back, fix my eyes on a crack in the sidewalk, my hands hidden in my pockets, counting quarters as I rehearse my order. One Nutty Buddy and a ring pop, please. One Nutty Buddy and a ring pop. I don't notice that the line has moved, that Stephanie and Erin are already pulling apart a twin pop as they walk back home, that it's my turn. I don't notice until Danny Evans yells at me to move my fat ass and pushes me so hard I almost fall. Then he and his friends oink in between gasps of laughter. I look up at the sky to keep my tears from slipping out of the corners of my eyes, and when the ice cream man asks what I want, I can't speak. So he offers me the first thing he grabs from the freezer case. I take it and run back down the street, where Courtney sits on the curb waiting. She dips a candy stick into a pouch of grape-flavored sugar, smiles, and pats the space beside her. Then I peel the white paper carefully from my ice cream sandwich and lick sticky chocolate cookie from my fingertips. Safe in her orbit, I release a long breath, and then, completely by accident, I blurt it out. What's it like? What's what like? And I realized I have no idea why I asked that. I guess I just wanted to know what it's like to be liked, to have people think you're cool, to be able to talk to girls like Stephanie and Erin, to buy a packet of Fun Dip and a huge box of Nerds without people making fun of you, to not have to go the other way when you see Danny Evans or Chris L. or Reggie, to be called by your own name, not Tubbs or Lardo, to have blue eyes and freckles on your nose and long honey-colored hair that flies like bicycle streamers when you run. What's it like? What's it like to be blonde? She crinkles her brow and looks at me, completely confused. Then she throws her head back and laughs. All right, the next piece is called Twilight, and it appeared in the December issue of Hippocampus. Twilight, it was your idea. When we had already done all there was to do in a summer, when we had beaten every level of Super Mario Brothers twice, when we had played every board game stacked in the guest room closet, when we had called Paul M. and hung up 15 times, when we had rifled through your father's Playboy collection, when there was nothing else to do but clean your room and decide which toys you'd give away to Goodwill, you found My Little Pony and asked if I wanted to play. I shrugged, but you insisted and tore your room apart until you found Firefly and handed her to me. So we built palaces from shoe boxes and played like we used to when both time and space dissolved. We played until your parents came home from work and yelled at you for not being ready. It's okay, I told you. We can play tomorrow. The next morning, you answered your door in your bikini. You grabbed me by the hand and pulled me into you. You had so much to tell me. But Ryan was on his way over, a boy who had met last night at your mother's office party. He was so cute and funny, and you talked all night on the phone. And today he's taking you to Wildwater Rapids. So I didn't want to tell you that I had brought a backpack stuffed with ponies, that I had spent an hour last night in the hot attic digging through plastic bins until I found Twilight, my favorite, and Moonbeam, yours, that I had washed them in warm, soapy water, that I had dried their tails and manes with my sister's blow dryer so that they were new again. Instead, I let you do the final touches of your makeup, closing the door behind me as I left. Right. This piece is called Small Talk, and it's forthcoming in Thin Air magazine. The question floats to the surface of our conversation, kicked loose from a crevice, despite my care to walk over words and step around sentences. Are you two planning on having any children? I want to tell you, yes, that ever since I was a little girl, I fantasized about having 6. Now at my age, I guess I'd settle for 3, but at least a daughter. I always wanted a daughter, named Scheherazade, even though my mother thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Cristina, think about how people will misspell it, mispronounce it. But she knew I had my mind set. And so I want to tell you about the box in the attic filled with all the things she collected: toys, pictures, and a child's dining set depicting scenes from 1001 Nights. And then there are the things she made when she realized she would die by the end of the year: Halloween treat bags, onesies, booties, blankets. So then I want to tell you about when Kevin and I first met, and I told him Scheherazade was a non-negotiable. He smiled and asked if we could call her Sadie for short. And so I want to tell you about the ovulation kits and pregnancy tests, about those 2 suspiciously late and painful and bloody periods. And I want to tell you about the days I can't drag myself out of bed, about the therapist and the antidepressants. And then I want to tell you about the adoption and foster care seminars, the doctor's visits, the tests, the list of procedures not covered by insurance. And I want to tell you about the anxiety, about how I have no idea how we can pay for it all, much less what comes after: diapers, daycare, college, on 2 teacher salaries. So then I want to tell you about the day I took Kevin by the hand and said, I give up. Let's just live our lives. And then I want to tell you about the moments when I'm lost in the garden of forking paths, when I can't find my way out of the what ifs, when I think this actually might be the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. And I wonder when I can tell you all this and believe it. So instead, I simply shrug and say, we never gave it much thought. Okay, the last piece is a micro flash piece. It appeared in the February Palm Journal. It's called Doopy Doopy Doo. When I can't sleep, when the anxiety gnaws at the edges of my brain, fraying my wires and sparking panic, you place your index and middle finger on my shoulder, and after a dramatic pause, make them dance like rockettes, one high kick after the other, as you sing Doopy 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 Doo, until the worries scatter to their warrens like mice. Thank you.